as we come on to our second map, let's get talking about Snakewater right now, because obviously that's going to be our second map. And who would you give the edge on Snakewater? Would you change it from TC?
I hear maybe whispers in the wind that this isn't TC's greatest map, so a point in Animate's favour. And I think Phil does like this map as well, so having a demo man quite comfortable in Snakewater is a very valuable asset.
Yeah, obviously also snipers can be a really big damage on this, can do a ton of damage on this map. I think Flippy proves that. But so who would you say has the best snipers? Slash obviously a prominent sniper, but I think Winko and Nookie pretty good snipers each themselves, so who would you suggest has the advantage there?
I think if I had to, hand on my heart, go for the best sniper, I think it would be Flash. He's probably more one of those scouts that's a bigger sniper than he is a scout. But the flexibility and the fact that Winko and Nookie are talented snipers in their own right, not makes it, I suppose, a lot more flexible. And I'm just trying to think. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Flash can pull something out on this map on sniper, but I don't think they really like to go for that sort of play on this map. Especially with it not being the strongest map.
I've just been reminded that we do in fact have comms, so we will be going to those for TC at some point, but both teams, I just heard one team ready up, so we will be running comms during this map. We could have run it during the first map, but I completely forgot, because I'm a very professional caster. But no worries, we will go to them for a couple of mids and maybe some last pushes or something to see what they have to say about it. Animate did not want to broadcast their comms, but no worries, that is of course their right. We only do this to help you viewers and to see if you can actually listen to them, but hopefully they're going to ready up soon and see what they can see, as they are all on their normal classes, so they should be soon. Yeah, have fun's are called. So if you've just joined us, guys, this is Team Fortress TV. My name is Ryushi, and joining me is TurboTabs and Sim on the camera. So this is going to be the second map of the week 3 Division 1 official between Team Colonslash and Animate eSports. Red and blue respectively, and we're going to run through this first mid. Spyro is going to get there first, tries to put some initial damage onto Dr. Phil, succeeds. Dr. Phil going down to 6 HP. He does eventually get stuck out by Spyro, so TC take the early advantage, but in comes the double soldier repair from Ryder Torsen, but they don't manage to get anything done other than do a lot of damage, but there's nothing to follow it up. Nookie the only one left alive. He's been called, I think. I don't know where he is, but TC seem to think they know where he is. He's fighting on his own second against a really low soldier. Yeah. Is gonna take him out?
Yeah, TC aren't finding Nookie. Nookie's trying to find TC as he was hunting down Libby there, just kind of pick him off. Libby even disgusted at the fact that he still gets picked off in the end there, after such a valiant effort to kind of survive. But yeah, what just happened there was Dr. Phil got picked off immediately, and they don't really have that big pizzazz in their follow-up without their demo man. And if your demo man goes down that early, maybe you should just kind of cut your losses and go straight to second. But no, Animate decided to throw the entire kitchen sink at TC here, as now they just come in with the Uber, full Uber advantage, take out the heavy very quickly. That heavy was just there to buy time, and now maybe kind of bait these players into this corner and pick them off. But it's proven successful, as the scouts are actually picking off some of the players there. Maybe Dr. Phil can make one glorious final last stand, but it wasn't written in the stars, I'm afraid.
No, so that's going to bring us to 1-0. Not really much of a defense from Animate as they lose their demo man initially, as you were saying, and then just had the fight kicked out of them by a double scout Uber from TC. So let's see if they can change this up on the second middle. Let's go to team comms. I'm going to link the channels now, so hopefully this works.
This buff is expired anyway, you behind it.
That was normal.
Solid scout top right.
Out our kitchen.
Scouts aggressive top right. Solid's gonna jump.
Soldier jumping in.
He took 60.
Soldier jumped top right.
He's still there.
You go to
Kill the Sony guys.
Scout is weak from behind.
Demo!
The scout is
Let's go back in, go back in.
Nice.
Soldier in kitchen, soldier in
We're
zero.
going down, guys.
One and heals behind you, around again.
Go to focus, go
Focus,
Nice.
Scouts.
Still alive. Quite weak, guys.
Yeah.
I got charge. You're weak, guys. Cap it. Play safe, play safe. Was the scout behind still or not?
No.
Okay, so we see pretty well organised from TC there, I think.
Yeah, they're very cool. They're a lot cooler. They realise what I noticed, they managed to keep the cool even in stress situations where it looks like it's not going their way. It seems their mids are playing more off reacting to the initial jumpers than making the first ones to put aggression in. And what else can we really learn from that little comm session? They can identify the very weak links straight off the bat and focus down quite correctly. So very strong comms coming out from TC.
Yeah, absolutely, but it doesn't seem to matter because they do let that sniper sightline of Nookie finds Lippy, and they are now one down with both Ubers. Going to get popped off. Here they come. They're going to come straight out of Saw. It's going to be a solo single target Uber onto Torsen from Fragmented, but Torsen gets disconnected and now is going to get caught out. Surely he's down to 17 HP. No, does manage to get out so far, but he's surely going to get chased down. No, TC, they're going to be content to clean up the players that are still on mid and then look to push into Lash and Ed picking up both soldiers there from Animate. And with this sniper of Nookie, there's not really going to be much of a defense from second, as Dr. Phil and Fragmented, the only one really alive. Nookie, I say that, Nookie's going to headshot Ed there and manage to get himself away alive. So TC lose two there as Kratos also going down. So they're not doing well against this sniper.
Yeah, it seems Animate did a very noble effort to kind of fight the combo in that last previous fight, and it was looking really up for them until they just gave up when they just had that little extra mile to go. If they just did it, they could have probably won that little fight there. And you kind of wondered, where was the flank and why were they not helping the combo? They were busy fighting their flank, and when they took them out, they came back and actually finished them off. And now another Uber comes in from Animate eSports, but Ramagan reacts with his over, and this time he's only got Kratos to keep Uber during all this. And but Animate do a good job of covering their tracks with just stickies and making it really difficult for TC to actually start another fight into their second.
Yeah, they're just going to back out though. Again, it leaves us in a stalemate situation with neither team really having Uber, but no picks as well. The TC combo is going to rotate onto this grass and now try and start the slow push up as they're going to try and get onto Animate. Animate are all bunched up together on the point though. This could be really dangerous for them, but they managed to force TC back. And now maybe even Ryder jumps in. No, he is going to get shut down by Ed. And the Lash as well is going to pick up another kill on the flanks and manages to get out alive for the moment. So TC, they've got 2 frags. They can just once again start to slow push, just forcing Animate back, and Animate have backed up into their lobby. So it's going to be a second point for TC with, well, a 2-man trade, but both Ubers are up now to defend last, or to fight last. They're going to come in aggressively from low, actually. Sorry to interrupt that, Turbo, but they're going to fight immediately. But the blue Uber does get popped out by Fragmented, and it was really only Lippy that came in. I thought the whole combo was going because it looked like Ramagan wanted to chase, but no, they're just going to get the Uber. And again, now they come from underneath. The blue combo goes behind them, and there's no one really up to defend last. There's going to be a scout and a soldier. They're just going to get back in time, but they've left a couple of players left to die. Nookie and Dr. Phil are down, and TC have still got 6 up. They're just going to start to clean up and cap point at the same time. That's going to bring us to 2-0. My apologies to interrupt you there, Turbo, but they did. I thought they were going to come in with Uber underneath.
No, that's perfectly fine, man. Pretty much what they did there was to kind of... It didn't really look like they're pushing, they were just kind of making room for Lippy to go in, and it did work dividends and allowed him to get the force off. And when they tried to make some use of that Uber, they actually ended up spraying the trap amongst themselves and caused them to actually get rotated upon. As we have another mid just launching off here. Ryder goes for another ambitious jump, but again gets picked out by the scouts of TC, identifying that that Roma's really devastating on this map and taking him out very, very early. And now Torsen goes in for a go, but again gets picked out. Phil is doing a good job of standing his ground against these scouts of TC, of countering the aggression from the little picks that they get. And now both teams just kind of standing off on this mid. Animate eSports getting the roughly better position of this, having the slight... in saying that, Kratos does pick off Nookie there, trying to get some cheeky cap time onto the point there. Now they've got the Uber, they actually just flat out Uber out. Fragmented has to use his Uber because he's in a horrible situation. And now that the entire Animate team comes back in, we're going to have another middle fight here, with Ryder this time making a second jump, and he proves a lot more successful this time. And with Ryder actually doing a really nice jump, Dr. Phil can back that up and just destroy the entire TC team.
Yeah, that was really nicely played from Animate there. I thought they were screwed when Fragmented got disconnected from his demo of Dr. Phil when he had to force Uber, but managed to link up with him, and because he'd sort of had about a 5-second Uber advantage, it was a really nice play for them to just clean up and do so much damage. The Lash spawns on Sniper to defend this last, but oh yeah, Kratos is on heavy as well. And Ed picking up the Pyro. The Pyro on Snakewater last is a questionable decision. It's such a wide open space. The Pyro cannot rotate fast enough if he's in the wrong position. Do you agree with this, Turbo?
I've seen it a few times. It was more of maybe a tactic way back in the past. It's proved popular amongst Americans, but when you get it working on this left-hand side and they go into it, it proves very, very effective, and they can still get some use onto it on this lower door here. But in saying that, they're already in now with the Uber, and they've gained such traction already, but they haven't managed to take Ramagan down. In fact, TC are getting the majority of these kills here, and they'll probably hold on to this. In saying that, though, Torsten comes in for a huge flank, but he just doesn't have enough ammo to take out all the players that are still left for TC.
Yeah, it does manage to get Ramagan though, and that's going to be the important pick. If you're going to lose the fight on last, at least take down the enemy medic if your medic died. So it's going to leave Fragmented with a slight Uber advantage. He could of course pick up the crits. This could be a really good time for him to pick up the crits. TC do cap second, but they're not going to be able to push onto mid, I don't think. And Nukia has picked up that sniper rifle as well, so don't think it's going to be a crits from Fragmented. Fragmented actually just no one spawns with him, so a little bit of a disconnect from the rest of his team, and well, he's lost maybe a 15% Uber advantage that he could have had, but he doesn't have it now because he wasn't healing when he spawned.
Yeah, we saw that in the first map as well. Fragmented, not quite the efficient as Ramagan is with his Ubers, but it doesn't really seem to play into it too much. Both teams kind of just assume that both teams are building as efficiently as they can, having tremendous respect for one another as teams. So it's just still a kind of standoff right now until Flash gets that little pick onto Nuki here, and that's quite a big pick really. That's their big valuable player for Animate eSports. He does a lot of work, but they're not really going to push off that because it's, I guess, still at the end of the day, is still a scout pick.
Yeah, Nuki complaining about the server as well, looking to cover himself with that, basically being in the wrong position. But TC, they don't really want to push. They would just pressure him, but actually the Ubers actually got forced out. What happened there, Turbo?
Yeah, they just went straight onto Ramagan. They see Ramagan kind of caught off in this position. Maybe they can just catch him out in that bad position, but he still has an Uber, which makes any position a good position. So he doesn't get taken out there, and kind of holds his ground in that respect. And now with Ryder down during all that clash, it's put Animate eSports slightly on the back foot, but it's very difficult to push this mid in the current state they are, especially with the sniper on your team. He's not really the biggest pushing force.
Yeah, Thalash really needs to get picked to actually make this sniper work before TC are going to want to push, but they do have advantage once again. Ramagan building so much faster, it's going to be almost a 20% advantage by the time he gets it, so if they're quick, they could definitely push, but again, you were saying they respect them too much, and I don't think they're going to push at all. Ramagan gets this just now, but in nowhere in sight to push, and they're just going to allow Animate to get it at the same time. I mean, it's
fascinating just to see what Fragmented is doing to kind of not build these Ubers. It seems really strange to kind of every time come out with a disadvantage, as they try to push it from grass, see how much ground they can get for free. But all it's done is just force them, without taking a player, straight into TC, and now it's just segregated their players. They've lost the pick already. Torsen's caught behind. Fragmented is obviously chased up by Kratos, and now the scouts are just backing up Kratos, who's just got that pick. And yeah, it's just a very poor decision coming out from Animate eSports. I have no clue why they thought what they could actually try and do there. Maybe surprise them and drop Ramagan, but that's a risky play. That's a very big ask. Yeah.
Yeah. But there's going to be a forward sniper of Nuki. He forward spawns, and with that pick off of him, Animate are going to find it very hard to fight this, especially as they're in lobby and not able to get out. Yeah, TC going to get second for free, and then push maybe straight onto last with a 40% Uber advantage that they have. Where do you think they'll come in? Do you think they'll just push straight on the right hand side? They do have a sniper. Thalash still hasn't changed off because he hasn't died yet. And yeah, they look like they're going to come straight in from right with Thalash sniping from the left. The Uber's going to pop. They're going to focus straight away onto that heavy. Winko falls pretty damn quickly, and they chase the blue players back into spawn. But if they come out that right hand side, that left hand side, sorry, they're going to fall into the cross site, the iron sights of Thalash, who so far hasn't hit anything. And actually, no one's really playing point. Animate should be able to hold this as That soldier's on like 3 HP. Eventually does get taken down. And what happened? TC looked like they had a really good push.
They kind of went for a point play at first, but the stickies of Dr. Phil stopped that immediately. They did take out the heavy, but the heavy did a good job of like wasting the Uber's time. And then they just kind of broke off into 2 fights. A fight on the left-hand side and a fight on the right-hand side. The soldiers were weak, fighting a buff demo man, and the soldier was just fighting a very weak scout on the right. It was just too difficult for TC.
Fragmented does go down though as he tries to enter in with his pocket through kitchen. He falls to the headshot of Thalash, and Thalash also hitting onto Nuki. So Animate, Dr. Phil the only one left alive as they completely get destroyed by that push. Dr. Phil does go down at the end there by Ed, and this should actually be a free last point. No wait, Ramagan went down. Who got Ramagan?
I missed that myself. It was just very scrappy. It seemed like they kind of just jumped straight into the threatening bosom of TC. And then they've suddenly got second and mid. Well, they already had mid, but they got second. But yeah, last defense for Animate. They can do it once. I'm sure they can do it again. And they've got a sentry gun going up this time on this right-hand side. Very uncommon spot for a sentry gun, at least from my experience.
Yeah, it's normally the other side of that little rock that it's sat on. I'm not quite sure what it's going to do there. Maybe deny the sniper,
Yeah.
but
I think you can instantly spot that and just spam that down. You don't even have to commit, really.
I think actually if you stand far back on left-hand side, you're not actually in range of it. But Thalash is going to pick off Dr. Phil, so that is not going to be
that's a
good
big
for the
hit.
TC push. And
Oh
then
my
Crits
God.
comes out of Sparrow Trap, taking down Fragmented Torsen. The crit, the sentry of Winko actually gets 1, but there's still 4 left alive for TC. They can't all just suicide onto the point and get killed by the sentry, can they?
Oh my god, it's
There's 2
happening!
down,
It's
Winko.
happening!
Winko, Lippy's on
that's
10
good.
health. Does eventually kill it. Jesus Christ, guys. TC, please.
I would have gone fucking insane if that actually works. It looked like it was working, and it took like 3 or 4 players to die before TC realised, oh, a sentry gun is murdering our team.
Like, it wasn't even in a good position. Like, if they'd had anyone come in through that right-hand side, they would have noticed, but...
It was in a good position if they came in from the left-hand side, and that's what they did, I suppose, so,
oh, well.
hindsight.
As we go on to this next mid, though, it's going to be no more sentries on this mid. Ryder jumps super aggressively, gets destroyed, though, but the rest of his team follow up. Kratos, the only one left alive now for TC. He's going to be trying to get onto Fragmented, doesn't manage to get him, and that is a full wipe, jumping off the back of that super aggressive Ryder jump.
Yeah, kind of like a pinceling move there. Nuki went straight into their kitchen and just like wrapped around. Torsen focused a jump from the left-hand side as Riders went barreling straight for the middle like a cannonball, and that huge giant pinch coming out from Animate just ruptured TC, and I guess all the plays of the scouts going off in the other end of the map didn't prove. Nothing happened with that either.
Well, that puts them in a fantastic position for the first time as they're pushing last with a huge Uber advantage. Not really able to find anything as Ed with that Pyro does manage to do a ton of damage, but now the frags start to come out as the last Ramagan and Ed all fall. There's still 3 up for TC, but the point does get capped out, bringing Animate their first point on the board. And with 14 minutes left in this game, there's still tons and tons of time for them to bring it back. So, coming off that middle, do you think they're going to be confident? Let's see how TC fight, seeing as they've just lost the middle, and I'm going to link the channels now.
I forgot the word, fuck this. Deny them. Was hard.
Demo's normal. Scout's aggressive top.
No, took sticky top left.
Scout top left.
You can kill him.
Okay.
Who's that?
Shooting him around.
2 soldiers
Top
jumping in.
Soldier 2 convoyed on me.
One soldier's dead.
Convoyed in the half.
Push
Nice.
up, push up,
Full squad.
push.
2 alive.
In the
They're
medic.
both on
Med
left.
took, Med take a lot.
Imu took 70.
Yes.
Nice.
I'm taking
Moving
crit,
forward
I'm
all the
taking
way.
crit. I spawn with
You can
VP.
have it.
Stack point 2
Okay.
please, do not extend in lobby. Stack point 2. One
Okay.
Okay, so, well, I think they don't seem shaken at all. They just lost a round. They got completely crushed on mid, but still seem as confident and as calm as they were when we linked them previously. So, and of course, Ramagan confident and telling his team that they need to stack that second point. They need to pick up that crits as soon as possible. And yeah, TC not even shaken by the fact that they just lost a round and got destroyed on mid.
Yeah, it really just shows that they're in the zone right now, and they saw their opportunity, seeing Nuki straight out of position and just pick him off very easily, and then the double soldier bomb seemed a lot more digestible for TC, and I think that's when Lippy decides to strike. As soon as they're focusing all their efforts onto the big giant blob of TC, Libby goes straight into that core that they didn't even think about protecting because they've just launched all their players at DC.
Yeah, well, once again we find ourselves with Animate defending last. They picked up that sentry, but it's in a more normal position and gets immediately shut down as the Uber comes in from the bottom. But it's all they're going to find. I say that Dr. Phil finally gets fragged out, but now the Uber comes out from Fragmented. He did drop Dr. Phil though, and is going to drop Ryder as well. So TC in a fantastic position as they get, well, a load of frags. Now Thalash tries to come in by himself a little bit there, but Animated, they only have 3 players up. The Scout's going to come down. It's just the Soldier and Fragmented to defend. Fragmented, Torsen tries to jump in. Fragmented is going to get picked off, and that's going to bring us to 4-1 with 11 minutes left. Turbo, can they come back?
It'll be very, very difficult, but it's not impossible. Maybe we'll see the crits come out. That's quite the comeback machine. And Phil's doing... Well, actually, I don't think I've seen a single stick kill coming out from Phil with the crits. But anyway, we're going straight into another middle here. We'll see if they still go for the same sort of tactic. They launched Torsen in, so it seems like unchanged tactics so far. Ryder decides to follow up this time, but again, they just identify the problem and just pick them off immediately. But Torsen actually manages to survive his first initial bomb, trying to wrap round, but he's not really backed up by his team. They've just got too much problems to deal with between this scout of Ed and Libby slightly behind them as well.
Yeah, and TC once again, they just able to just completely destroy. And now Fragmented maybe in a little bit of trouble. He has caught up with his scout, and yeah, I thought Spyro was going to try for that, but no, does manage to hold himself back and not chase onto last. But once again, Animate, we find ourselves defending last with them.
Yeah, I think they really need to change up their tactics on mid. It just seems like the same thing over and over again. Sure, it works sometimes, but it's more of execution, and TC are only going to get more adapted and get better as reading these plays.
Yeah, well, Ryder getting picked off as they try to Uber out onto second is not going to be good. But wait, hang on, I alt-tab for a second there. I'm confused.
Quite the opposite. The Uber straight in and just take out a few players as well.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I alt-tabbed there and missed like 3 kills for like 2 seconds. Oh well. Please keep going, Turbo, while I try and catch up.
Yeah, they just go off the back of that. They just grab a second now. They're 2 players down TC, so they're on the back foot here. They try to hold up the middle second, provide any spam down from where the call is coming in. They actually take out Torsen with the spam, and they're choosing to fight this actually in this little lobby bit. Kratos is committing as well as Libby, but it seems there's so many players from Animate, but they just take them out one by one, especially with those spawners coming back from the forward respawns. It was a very good decision from Libby and Kratos to kind of dedicate themselves on that little fight there, knowing that the spawners were going to come in eventually and back them up and clean up all the frags. And now they're just going to, on the back of that, get a second point. Fragmented has built his Uber now, because he did back out during all of that fighting. But
yeah,
Ramagan...
but super early,
Oh,
though.
Ramagan drops!
What?
He's
Where?
went down in lobby. He went down in lobby, he dropped.
Oh wow. I was going to say, that looked really bad. Fragmented. He Ubered straight out on second, and there was really nothing there to kill, but the big drop by Dr. Phil onto Ramagan is going to put them in a good position. I say that. Fragmented gets sniped by Thalash. Now it's just a scout of Ed and Thalash bringing on the long shots to try and deal as much damage. Nuki's the only one left alive now. He's fighting Thalash. 24 HP. Does eventually kill him. Ramagan, the only one left alive, and he's just spawned with Spyro right now. So... Animate, they come out on top after a big drop by Ramagan.
Yeah, after that drop and the Uber was used by Fragmented, it kind of turned into a trading card game, one player exchanging one after the other, and now they just try and make another play onto Ramagan here when I'm not sure why they couldn't just regroup all the players, but I guess they're just maybe trying to make something happen. They need to go big or go home if they were going to make a comeback and even win this game, not let alone draw.
Yeah, definitely. But once again, the sniper gets picked up by both teams. Thalash looking to push, and he does in fact take down Winko. So that's going to be a big damage. The crits comes out with Ramagan. They're not finding anyone with it at the moment. The counter crits comes out with Dr. Phil. Sparrow Trap and Ramagan are going to go down. That means that TC lose so many coming out the end of that crits. It was terrible crits from them, countered by Dr. Fitz's fantastic crits. And Lippy's somewhere. I think he went below and is behind, but they're going to ignore him. The Lash gets picked off in front, and, well, Animate, they're going to get mid out of this.
Yeah, but I don't think all the players are on the same wavelength. Some players are fighting in a completely different point compared to the mid. But I guess it doesn't really matter. They have too many players down from TC, and they're just gonna decide to cut the losses and hold second, which is the smart play. They need to slow down this game and stop the comeback machine happening from Animate eSports. But the crits will come back up fragmented eventually, and it's going to keep going as they go straight into the meat grinder here, just ransacking one player after the other. Nuki and Winko doing a very good job on their trades there, but Flash actually supporting fire, and now the combo turns up for Animate eSports here, but they're not going to follow up with the crits, it seems. Don't know why. Where's your passion, Animate eSports? Oh, Libby goes for a big flank. He almost got the pick onto Fragmented there, left me breathless as he was just trying to aim that last rocket, but just couldn't quite hit the mark.
Yeah, Animate, they lose a player on entry as that's going to be Torsingo down. And again, Nuki, Thalash finding more kills with that sniper rifle. So I thought that was really good for Animate because they rushed in a couple of players and like they killed Animate, but now they're waiting with the crits. It is going to come out. Oh, Dr. Phil finds 3 with the crits, including Ramagan. I take everything back.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh wow. Crits. Over Soldier tries to get in. Lippy does take down Fragmented, but it's too little, too late.
Done his job.
Soldier of Kratos tries to come in. Is going to surely get shut down. Kratos finds 2 there, taking down Fragmented and Ryder, but
oh my God.
It's not going to be enough. Fragmented's going to respawn soon. I don't think he's going to have an advantage, but they have a huge momentum advantage as they look to push this last.
Yeah, wow. I guess they spent so much time dilly-dallying. TC almost forgot about the crits, or kept thinking, oh, they can't have crits, because if they have crits, they would have used it by now, or something like that. And it kind of surprised him in that way. But it could either between probably a poor play coming out from TC, or an ingenious plan coming out from Fragmented.
Yeah, well, Fragmented has actually kept on the crits, so he's confident in Dr. Phil's abilities, and frankly, I am too, coming out of those 2 fantastic crits that I saw from him.
Oh my God.
Ramagan does have he did have a slight advantage, but because of that crits advantage they're building so quickly, Fragmented, they're going to come out of this right-hand side.
Look where the position, though. The position ready for this crits. They're just going to move straight. But actually, no, in saying that, the crits comes from that very door that they were going to use to protect themselves, and Phil just gets some of the easiest picks of his life, and now, oh, the hype train is here. The comeback machine is real. It can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. TC, they're crumbling in the face of Dr. Phil's crits, and I mean, if they keep on this, I say that. Keep on this, Fragmented once again, running the crit streak. They're confident with this. They're running. They've got the momentum.
Yeah,
and as they come to this middle, if they don't lose Dr. Phil initially, they're going to get an early crits out onto TC before Ramagan gets his Uber. And if this is a long drawn out mid fight, it could very well go in favour of Animate. Let's see what's going to happen now as they're getting aggressive up into that top right. Ryder is going to go down.
Watch Lippy. He's going to come in right now, and he gets very clean rockets on the Fragmented, takes him out, cuts off Dr. Phil's exit from that mid there, forcing him to commit. Actually, Flash trying to follow up Winko there, who was trying to back out of that fight all week, but Winko does win out on the 1v1. But despite that, they still win mid, and all they did was just buy their time for Lippy to make the really, really big flank and come big for his team.
Yeah, talking about Winko, I thought he was going to go for the corner frag there, but instead just jumped straight across the top. He's going to... No, not going to be able to get anything done. Did like 30 damage to Ramagan there, and Ramagan confident in his team's abilities.
I think we're a bit too hyped now. We're just expecting like 6-man wipes from every single player that just jumps in, and then the crashing reality just comes back to us and go, oh, it's just a scout against 4 buffed up players.
Well, Nuki's going to get the headshot onto Thalash, and the Uber is going to come from the bottom of TC.
Fragmented almost has his Uber though. Nice
is he going to get it in time? He is. They're going to Uber out.
But all his players are going down.
It's a crits again. No, nothing's going to happen. And the point will surely get capped. There's going to be Ryder jumping in. Is going to take down 2, but not enough to get any more than that.
I think this is going to be the nail in the coffin.
I think it is. I think you are right there. With 3 minutes left in this game, TC with that with that cap onto last there, just clinching the game. I thought, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was an Uber from Fragmented again. This time,
I thought it was an Uber as well. If it was an Uber, it was very capable to bring that back, but thinking about it, if they didn't have the crits, they wouldn't have the Uber in time, so it's probably better to go for that play. Still very smart play coming out from
Well, he's still running the crits as we find ourselves, there's also a sniper to mid coming out of Nuki. they're not really getting anything done though. TC are just going to collapse onto their weak players, and now there's even a scout in behind them. It's going to be Ed, I think, trying to do. Sorry, not Ed. Yeah, Ed, trying to do as much damage as combo. The crits just get popped off onto the sniper who's desperately trying to kill Ed.
SMG.
It's not going to get anything done, and everyone just dies from Animate as Winko and Torsen respawn.
This round's all about the logs.
Yeah,
This is where you make all your points back from any sort of sacrifices you've made to your team. Now it's just about selfish logs.
yeah. I reckon that's going to be Nookie calling. Pop the crits on me. Pop the crits on me. I'm going to get some insane sniper crits frags. But as we get Animate defending pretty well actually. It's 3v3 at the moment. Ramagan still alive. Animate do defend pretty well there with the respawning fragmented to buff up the players who are still alive. So they're not content to throw the rest of the game yet. They're just going to continue to hold, I think, for 1.5 minutes left that we have in this game.
Yeah, actually, you know how earlier we were talking about Ed's, I guess, place in the team? He's kind of really shone in this last game right now, just showing how much, if I think that's the right scout, is TC Bura is...
That is Ed, yeah.
Yeah, Ed really coming out for his team here, playing very consistently. Like, thinking about it, I can't really fault him for any of the plays he's made throughout the entire match, and he's playing a very solid scout in this game, and well, he shut me up.
Well, he was probably listening to us. I said every time I trash talk someone in between games, they always manage to pull it out and play really well the second game. So he's done really well. That sentry in that strange position again does get immediately shut down by Sparrowdrap. TC not going to fall to the same tricks as they did last time, but
Fool me once, shame on you.
Do get destroyed as everyone gets revenge on everyone else as TC lose a couple of players there. They've got a heavy and medic on the point. Is it going to be anyone to defend? Ramagan trying to get Uber off this medic. Is going to take down Fragmented, but does drop at the end there, I think, as he just got it with the Ubersaw.
I'm sure he would have killed 2 more players.
Lippy tries to suicide in for last, but with 2 seconds left. Yeah, that's going to be a 5-2 victory for TC on this second map. So they get to the full 6 points in this Division 1 Week 3 game. And I wonder if we can get any interviews going as we move once again over to the logs.
What a game. That crits just put such wind in the sails of that game, just kind of stepped it up a notch. Just showing that they weren't out of this, and the comeback machine could have happened in an ideal world. And it still kept it exciting relatively to the very end of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, if we look at the logs, all the complaints that we had last round, when in the case of Sparrowdrap not doing enough damage and Ed not really playing too much of a part, Sparrowdrap second damaging behind Phil, who only gets about 400 more damage than him, and don't forget Phil had, 2 pretty damn decent crits, which does a ton of damage, so Sparrowdrap really playing once again the top damage dealer on his team as a demo man should, and if we look at the kills, Ed top fragging, so he's done really well too, and 15 assists as well, so he's participated in a ton of kills for his team. So all the complaints we had, they're gone. We apologise to TC for trash talking them when obviously they weren't warmed up.
I think I have a theory. I think maybe Ed's performance is more in the true role of the scout and just like clean up the frags, and the fact that Sparrowtrap had a bad game last time also showed in Ed's performance. Ed's really, I guess, Sparrowtrap's salt to his pepper, and they really complement each other, but if one doesn't do too well, the other one doesn't do too well either.
It's a good theory. We'll have to ask the teams, because hopefully we're going to get some interviews from the TC team, as they are in our member, so it should be pretty easy for us to get them. And I'll see if we can get anyone from Animate as well, but I don't know if they're going to come. I don't actually have anyone on my friends list because I don't have any friends, so it's going to be up to you, Turbo.
At the start of the game, who got the most headshots during that last game?
Good point. It was Thalash with 9, so Thalash got a ton of headshots there.
And I think I've crashed.
Oh, wonderful. Well,